What's going on, everybody? I'm here tonight on the Comedy Workshop number 368. We have a full house tonight. My name is JD. It's my first time hosting this. Very excited to get going. Like I said, we have a full house, and I'm going to let everybody take a minute to just introduce themselves. We'll start with you, Carolyn, and go around to Ray.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Stolens, and I'm currently in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but I'm in transition because we're in the process of moving to Sierra Vista, Arizona. And I haven't done real live comedy since 1990. Shows how old I am. But over the past year, I found that comedy is the only thing that's keeping what's left of my sanity. And this workshop has been a big part of that.
Cool.
My name is Elnor. I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Technically, we're on the last day of lockdown. Still,
Yes.
that's what.
Oh gosh. I have that feeling.
Take it away.
All right, man, a few words.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, my name's Armina. People call me Mina. I'm from, of course, like I said, Washington State. I'm currently in Florida, and I've been doing comedy for 4 years now. And I just started with the comedy workshop. But I've been doing this with you guys for like 3 months now. I've been participating with them for 3 months.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, I am Ray. I have been doing comedy for, how long have I been doing comedy? Define the start, right? I feel like comedy's always been a part of my life. It is like my coping mechanism. It is the coping mechanism that I was taught with, honestly. Like it is my parents' coping mechanism to a point where I don't have another coping mechanism. Should I brag about that?
Yes, good.
Yeah, high five to well, you know what? I'll get to it in my set. I'm not well, but it's all good. Because who is well? Define wellness.
Absolutely.
Someone you don't know very well.
So, like we said in the beginning, this is a comedy works safe space. We want to, comics to feel relaxed in this space. Be able to feel free to, work on the material. We're not trying to make anybody mad or upset anybody, but we're just trying to work on our funny. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to do. And I prefer to let you guys go first and let me, finish up. So whenever you're ready, Carolyn, we'll get started. You can tell us your subject, and I will start the clock. Everybody's going to have 3 to 5 minutes on their subject on the first go round. The second go round, you can do. Let's go crazy. We'll go 6 minutes.
Okay.
Not real material, and
Okay.
we'll have
I'm
a good time with it. Y'all ready, Carolyn? Yeah. You're on stage. Everybody, give it up for Carolyn! Yay, Carolyn!
Yay!
So my assigned topic was wise guys. So who's the wise guys? Well, there's 3 different definitions. The first is in the mafia members, but I've already done enough routines about the Trump dynasty, and of course they just took a hit on democracy last week. But anyway, moving right along. The second definition is a person who speaks and behaves as if they know more than others. We didn't see none of that last year, did we? I've done my research. Definition number 3. An upstart who makes sardonic, insolent remarks, also known as a smart aleck, smart ass, wiseacre, or Weisenheimer. And of course, Weisenheimer is Yiddish because us Jews are well known for being sardonic as fuck. Guilty as charged. And you know what else Jews have been charged with? Everything. Yeah. So, from the left, we are charged with not using our Jewish Weisenheimer Mafia to call up Bibi and say, would you please fucking knock that shit off right now? If only. If we only had that kind of power, but those on the right, the Christian right just loves us. Now, granted, every time there's a school shooting, which is every fucking day in the United States, who do they blame it on? Those people who kicked God out of the schools. Yeah. Yes, I believe in the separation of church and state, but I can't kick God out of anywhere. I mean, yeah, it's great. Okay, so the left thinks that I somehow have power over the whole world, or at least Netanyahu, and the right thinks I have control over God. No wonder they're scared of me. But here's the dirty little secret. I don't even have control over my dog. I can't even kick my dog out of the kitchen. But, that's okay. I believe in religious freedom. So if they want to believe that God is less powerful than my dog, I respect that. But anyway, the Christian right, no, they really love Jews. They love us like they love their own children. They hope and pray that when we grow up, we will be just like them. But if we for 1 minute act as if we are their equal, we will get smacked down hard. But they will fight to the death anyone who tries to threaten us. Not because they actually give a flying fuck about us, but because at this moment they hate liberals and Muslims even more. Yeah, I know, the left plays that game too. It's called The Enemy of My Enemy is My Friend. Yeah, they both play that game, which means that I guess we have more friends than anyone in the world. I guess that's why we're such a threat, so popular. But, yes, the Christian right will fight to the death anyone who threatens us, unless, of course, the threat comes from within. Oh, Aunt Marjorie, that's just the way she is. Oh, yeah, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, 1 minute? Okay. So she accuses us of starting California wildfires with their space lasers, while out the other side of her hate hole compares masks and vaccines to the Holocaust. So she certainly fulfills the criteria of someone who doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And she's also a member of that death cult mafia known as Fuck QAnon. But I would never call her a wise guy. I would just call her a festering volcano spewing white hot molten batshit. And if I had a fraction of the power that the foaming anti-Semites left and right claim I have, what would I do to the likes of Marjorie and her mafia? Might start giving them direct experience so they can see why comparing masks and vaccines to the Holocaust is fucking sick. But no, none of that. I would be compassionate and say, like, why don't you do some community service to help you learn how to care about others? And so you can do that washing bedpans in a COVID ward with none of this tyrannical PPE. Because I'm a Weisenheimer, and that's how I roll.
All right.
We're good. And in order of giving remarks and stuff, we'll just we'll go clockwise. So we'll start with the owner, and we'll come back around each time.
Let's do it.
So what you got, owner?
Okay. You had a lot of stuff. I wanted you to kind of go into like topics. Like, I'll give you examples in a second. Like, you don't have to go into the definitions, but if you do, just jump onto something in there and add something kind of maybe laughy, maybe something like that in them right away. So you said that, like, yeah, people say that if Jews had the power to blah, 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 blah. Just come up with some stuff that, what would you as a Jew do? You had the power, you would do A, B, C, D. I would make, I don't know, every day this other Jewish holiday or something like that, whatever. Something. And just
like 400 pounds, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you like this. So, but you can, but describe it, go into it, because you have a view, you have a perspective. Explain why, right? You and I can understand why we would be 400 pounds, but other people might not. So explain, like, yeah, this is a holiday with like 8 days where you eat fucking donuts with extra glazing, and there's no limit to how many you need to eat, and just go on that thing. Okay. So go with examples and try to keep like just punches. Like, you got the thing, you got the premise now. I'm the all powerful Jew. My powers are blah blah blah. This. Each of them can have another punch. Like, oh, all the holidays. Holidays are funny because this. Yeah, your dog is more powerful than God. I think you can go into the stuff like, oh, it can make me leave the house when even God won't let me make me leave the house, go for the walk. What else?
You know my dog, don't you?
I don't. Yeah.
And he's real.
This is a little dark. This is a little bit more dark. Only my dog wiggling his tail can make me happy. Stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
just, shit like that. Yeah, and I don't know. Like, well, the thing about the vaccines being compared to the Holocaust, this not vaccines, but like the pandemic and stuff. I randomly waited outside a store with a couple of friends, and they were putting us in line, and it was just all Holocaust jokes. Like, we were just waiting in line, and just all jokes about this, just because of like the, they had to check your number to see that you had the thing, so that you can go into the store and all this stuff. I was like, it's very Gestapo-y. I'm gonna get this. I don't know. I found it funny at the time. So you could go into something like this.
Oh no,
But
no.
Okay. Just saying. Yeah, that was all I had for a point.
What you want to
Thank
hear?
So my turn?
Yeah,
Yep.
let me do. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was, at first you had me going with the whole wise guys, and we had one of those throughout the whole quarantine, and then it was like you kind of kept going, and I lost me a little bit. But if you just keep on with like he was saying, like Esther was saying, did I say your name right? I'm so sorry.
It's
Eleanor.
Carolyn.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
All
Oh,
good.
sorry. Like he was saying, just like put a little bit more in there. Like if you were, since you were a Jew, or whatever, put a little bit more into it. Like something, I don't know, like, oh, so these wise guys around here, these Republicans don't know anything about Jews or something, just something. I don't know. But I just kind of got lost a little bit after that part. And then I would try to tune in a little bit and see what you were saying about the dog. You caught me on that one. That one was a really good one. And then it was like, again, with the definitions and stuff like that. So, but you have something going good. I like it overall.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Yeah. So, so some of this may be reiteration. So I'm going to start off with something that I know hasn't been mentioned, anyway. So at the beginning, when you were listing off the definitions, I just immediately thought of like every rom-com wedding speech of just like Webster's dictionary defines love as, and I would love to have that you tied into that, where like at the end you turn it into just an obscure wedding speech. But that is just because I might just be weird though.
You are the fun.
I was just like, this would be funny, but it's not gonna happen.
I think if I'd seen it, then if I were familiar with it, I'd say, oh yeah, let's do that. But
yeah, that's fair. Anyway, I really like the prop work that's really making good use of the Zoom environment, just because it's stuff that it's when prop work's on stage, it's sitting there so they know it's coming. But when you're just grabbing it off screen, I have been finding Zoom prop work is just that little bit more powerful, and I love it. So just like general appreciation. I can't read that, so whatever. Popularity threat, popularity contest. So just kind of like again, I think I'm just like I said, like I was gonna reiterate what just tie in, build more, because things are good, but it just kind of you just said a lot. so it's just like
I think I tried to
like slow down, break it into different sets. Yeah, it's just allow yourself to have more sets and to give yourself more opportunities to say things, because sometimes just like there's just the flow of topics and themes kind of clash. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think like how Amina said, like you kind of lost her. So I think it's one of those times where yeah. So so if we had power. I've really liked that line, like that idea of just like if we had power, we'd be unstoppable. Like just to tie into that, build it up as was said, like things that you would do with it, and just be like if we had power, who wouldn't?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You could either leave that silent and let people fill it in, or you could make a list. Either way, I think it.
Very
I
long
think.
list.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's like people. Ooh.
Yeah.
And yeah. God spelled backwards is dog, and I just wanted
Yes.
to point that out to you in case you wanted to utilize it in your dog bit.
Are you done? I'm sorry.
I'm done now.
So we had some comments on the Facebook post. It says great Trump joke. God spelled backwards is dog. And both God and your dog know how to heal. Love the fuck QAnon joke. What about the three wise men? Do you think Mary was such a princess? She wanted a room in the inn, as if house cleaning would want to clean up the mess she's going to make. Like as if house cleaning would want to clean up the mess she's going to make.
I don't think I can do Christian jokes. It's just one of those things where, you have to only do your own religion or it's like just wrong.
Right. Well, I wrote down a couple of things. You give the definition of wise guy. You was like, oh, a guy thinks he knows it more than everybody else. So, it's like every fucking guy in the world. Also, I think I've not heard nobody make this joke yet, and I think it needs to be made politically. It's like, the right was always talking about how stupid they thought AOC was. And now they've been silent since Marjorie Taylor Greene's in there because she's like, AOC's stupid. Here, hold my beer. Like I'm the dumbass now. So, like, I don't know. I think there's a potential there to. It's like, where are all these guys that were bashing AOC for being stupid? Now the Marjorie Taylor Greene's in there because you don't hear from them at all. I don't know. I think there's something there. That's all I had. But good job. Everybody give it up for Carolyn?
Good job.
All right, Eleanor, up to you, man.
Let's do it. Okay, so my topic was representatives. So I'm going to give my own definition of representatives. It's basically fuck ups who keep persisting. Not necessarily the same thing. So, as an example, let's say you failed at art school. So let's leave Germany. It does happen. If you didn't know, Putin kind of failed at being a spy. They just shoved him in some office, like in Germany, somewhere in Dresden. He had to like pick up newspaper clippings. That was his job. He said, came back from that ship. He's like, fuck it, let's lead Russia. Let's go big. More recently, we have Boris Johnson at the UK, right? This dude failed at combing his hair. So he said, let's run for parliament. We'll do good there. Brexit and all that stuff. So I said, okay, I can't just make fun of all of them and not be like thinking about it. So what if I was an elected representative? I would change some rules. Things would be different. For example, a slow walker would not be there anymore. I suggest the first treatment for them is, do you remember the movie 300? Remember the "This is Sparta" line? So every slow walker is going to get a boot up his ass to fly away. People that signal right while driving and then turn off left. You should be able to shoot them in the tires. At least one. I think that would be a reasonable rule. Another one would be like, let's say you're waiting in line. The person in front of you at the grocery store had just finished paying for their groceries. And then they start talking to the cashier. I think we should be able to throw items at them. Like cans of beans, whole beer bottles. I think this will help. And then I thought about, okay, so what else could happen? I kind of wanted to see, what if rappers ran for office, right? I think this would be a good thing. Because, it would be some entertainment in the running for office part, right? So what if Snoop Dogg ran to become president? There'll be a whole new Green Party, first of all. The campaign would look different, obviously. So no suit and ties. Instead, that would be like shades and do-rags, like, baggy clothes. There's not going to be any kissing of the babies during the thing. It would be like some slapping of some bitches, probably. Not necessarily female bitches. All bitches come in all kinds and shapes, apparently. Male, female, doesn't matter anymore. Other. There's not going to be a limo. There's going to be a bulletproof lowrider. I think his cabinet is going to also be interesting. I think, obviously, in a perfect world, Secretary of Defense would be DMX, because conflicts would be settled easily, just like, and that would be that. There would be no wars. People wouldn't die. it would be a happier world. Press secretary would be Afro Man. I don't know if you remember that rapper. He had a very particular song, and he would explain the different rulings that Snoop Dogg made. Like, first thing would be that the G7 summit is going to start off with a puff puff pass. And then, when asked about this, Mr. Press Secretary, how come President Dog decided that this is how it's going to go? Well, because he got high. That's everything I had for representative.
Nice.
All right, we'll stay with the rotation, and we'll go to Armina first.
I like it. That was really good. I like how you put in what if the rappers ran for president? Oh my god. You could have probably elaborate a little bit more, like, like I like how you did with DMX, how everything will be settled. But then you can went off about how, like, of course he's not here no more, so how are we gonna settle things now, or something?
Oh,
but I love how you said that. And it is overall, it was good. I don't really have much to say. I love the rapper thing though.
Who's like a tough rapper? Like who would replace DMX now? I'm like trying to think. Like I have to think about it.
That's a good question.
I think that's a good angle though, man. I think that's a good angle. It's like now that
Lil Wayne.
DMX is dead, who's gonna be the fucking Secretary of State? Fucking Kendrick Lamar? No, that's
Lil
Wayne, he'll just get everybody high, and then they'll be settled.
What's dude? I'm trying to think of his name, man.
I think we'll go the other way around.
Exactly. I'm happy. What's that guy's name?
We'll go the other way around. We'll go. Now we're in trouble. The Secretary of Defense is gonna be Lil Nas or somebody like that. That's like,
oh yeah,
got another misdirect.
We're like, man, be fucking for real. We're gonna be happy as fuck in this mother.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right, Ray, what do you got?
All right. I when you were listing off like things that you would change, like your rules and stuff, I was just thinking, you being in charge would just like make me unable to complain about my drunk dad. So that is not a note. That is just me.
Okay.
Political debates would be more chill with the puff pass starting, just like a little add-on to build with that. But I really don't have too much. The fuck up who keeps persisting at the start was really great. I liked that.
Cool.
And good job.
Great, cool. Thank you.
So I just wrote down a few things. Like first off, like Snoop Dogg, I think is hilarious as a presidential candidate, and like he would definitely get my vote just because I know we're getting fucking high. That's all it is. And like the Afro Man, like what did you guys say Afro Man is? Oh, the speaker of the
Secretary of whatever.
Yeah. It's like Snoop Dogg didn't go to summit because he got high.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I
guarantee if Snoop shows up with some chronic over in the Middle East, there's gonna be fucking world peace in this motherfucker.
That's right.
I got a couple comments on Facebook. I'll get to you, Carolyn.
I've got a couple.
Yeah. So Break Board's joke. I agree with the shopper talking to the checker. I think that could be expanded.
Again.
I agree with the shopper talking to the checker. I think that could be expanded.
Yep.
Represent sounds like the second attempt at representing something. Makes me think of Ted Cruz. Would Martha Stewart be his VP? I think that'd be. There's a lot. That's a lot of good work there. You could,
she couldn't though because she has a criminal record.
That's fine. We'll expunge that. Snoop Dogg's president. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I just meant that as a funny.
No, it's perfect. No, because the whole thing. Martha Stewart, then your point, then the point back that we can do it. Yeah. The whole thing can be like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Carolyn, what you got?
Okay, well, first, when you were listing all the people who like completely fucked everything up and then became representatives, you missed a golden opportunity to bring up Trump.
I know. I thought about it after I was writing the Boris Johnson thing, and I'm like, why am I talking about his hair? And I was like, but then I was too late.
The thing about shooting tires, are you sure you're not an American?
No, but I always wanted to do it.
That is so, actually that would fit in Indiana or Arizona. Like we love our guns in red states. And the other thing that came to mind is when you were talking about rap, I was thinking, next time break into rap.
Oh no, hell no! There's no. First of all, I also had like 1 day notice, right? I only found out about the topic yesterday. So.
Freestyle.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough. That's not gonna happen.
All right, everybody get up for real or good?
Cool.
All right, Mina, it's on you, girl. What you got?
Okay, so my thing was moral code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get that one.
So it was really hard for me to really think of something for this because I was like, it's a code for like, your morals for whoever. Hey, hi, little friend. Sorry, morals right there. But I feel like having a moral code should be like our moral code should be we should be able to choke or slap somebody every once in a while. That should be like a code for us to have every once a month. We should have that moral code privilege. Like, since it's for a group of people, I think that should be like a group of people that should be like our thing. Once a month, you are able to slap and choke somebody. I think that would be a good idea. Or for parents like me who have kids, I think that we should have like a moral code where it'd be okay for us to just tape our kids on the wall or put them in a dungeon somewhere. Like, I think that should be a good moral code, right? Like a group of people. I'm just saying, this is like something that I'm coming up with, it took me a while to figure out what I was going to say for this. I'm like, okay, I go to church, do unto others that people want me to do unto them, but then I think about my kids. They don't do nothing that I want them to do to me. Like, I always try to be nice to them and they're always being mean to me. So my moral code is to just like choke them, but then it's frowned upon. But then but if you don't choke them, then people are like, you should discipline them more. But then but you told me not to choke them. So where's our moral code at on that one?
No.
So, but like I said, it was a very tough one for me to think about. That's all I had gotten for that. So I'm sorry that it wasn't that much, but that's all I had. Sorry, guys.
All good.
So some of these are tough. That's a tough one, right? I feel like moral code.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah. All right, Ray, you're up first.
Yeah, it's for sure one of those topics where it's just like if you hit it, then you could probably just like do like forever on if you find that right thing. But like whatever, it's fine. Like I liked it just like the playing with the essentially like I haven't even seen the movies, but like the Purge idea and just like kind of going on like oh, they were onto something because like you're already so close to that idea that everyone's familiar with and everyone knows exists, so you may as well lean into it instead of kind of like dancing around it, just being like oh yeah, maybe not as like intense as the Purge, like not like stab to kill but stab.
Right. It hurt real bad, right?
Yeah, just like to get it out. Yeah, the tape to the wall comment, that was one of those things where I was just like, a part of me doesn't want like a part of me as a social worker doesn't want to laugh at that, but
I just be like, oh my god.
Yeah, I just like that's just so real. I read this study about someone who put a box. I do not know enough about information about this because it was a while ago, but like someone put their kid in a box and just like left them to their own devices, so they only had energy for social interactions with the kid, to kind of as an experiment. There was a psychologist to see how the kid would grow up and turn out, and like the kid is fine, and I'm just like, no, I hate that and it can't be right, and it's just like the kid is fine, and I'm just like, I disagree.
Sometimes things work out. Depends on the child.
Yeah. So I just like, I don't know. That study is bizarre, and I think that that's a gift, I guess. Now you know about it. So here we are.
That all you got? You good?
Yep.
So really, the only thing I wrote down was like, because I think it's funny, like, of course, social media cracks me up, but you'll see all these people, oh, you need to start bringing back whippings for your kids, Man, fuck that moral code. Like that's bullshit.
Right.
I know people who beat their kids every day, and this son turned out to be a successful businessman. I also know a guy that beat his kid's ass every day turned out to be a fucking crackhead. You ain't got shit to do with you beating on your kids. Like,
Shit, I got beat every day, and I'm a comedian, so you know.
so there's like I feel like there's a lot to explore, like weighing the back and forth of you know that sort of these people are high on their fucking horse because they beat their fucking kids. Like that shit don't sound moral to me. I don't know. But that's all I got. Well done. It's a tough one. It was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mina, I also first thing I thought it was the Purge, and it sounded like you. I don't know if you read. I don't know if you've seen that or if you just. Oh, okay. So
yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
The other thing that came to mind. Have you heard the song "The Choke"? Oh, okay. I think the band has some weird name. Like I don't know how, but they found me. That's the name of the band. And this song was really popular in about 3 years ago. And the chorus goes, the really happy poppy song, I wouldn't hesitate to smile while you suffocate and die.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
You can incorporate that into your routine.
Right?
I'm sorry, I missed something. I missed it.
Oh, no. I was saying, that's a good way of being happy while you're choking somebody. Like, hey, smiling while you're choking.
I know of another one.
Right? I like that.
But that's actually really, Carolyn. That's funny too, because choking you think is immoral, but I've had people beg me to choke the shit out of them. So I don't know.
Moral dilemma.
Let's continue. Was all you had?
Yeah, that was it. I also like JD. You had some really great ideas there too. So
thank you.
Cool. I had a few. So moral code sent me to a straight. You have, and this is like big premises first. Like you have the bro code. You have the moral code, but then you have the bro code, like guy code and stuff like that. Then you're going to go on a tangent. Do girls have a girl code? Like, do girls have their own equivalent? And what does that look like? You can just go on tangents on this. On the choking someone, yes, it's unconventional, whatever. But first, my mind went to Wayne Brady because the way you said it, I was like, to quote the great Wayne Brady, like, and then the tape kids on the wall idea. I immediately imagined the child being taped to the wall, and there's a few things in there. First of all, you can have child-proof duct tape. You can start selling it off, free-range duct tape, whatever. Like completely ridiculous stuff. You can, once they're taped to the wall, you can have different levels of punishment. Like all the limbs are taped. The legs are free, like they can have one arm to eat a sandwich with, something like that. And also the child in my head, for some reason, it's yelling. So you have to tape their face. Like, they're taped, but they're still on your nerves. Like they still can get on your nerves just if the body's taped. What else do I have? Another thing on the choking. You can go take some jiu-jitsu classes so you can learn how to choke them more effectively and kind of maybe less dangerously. Another thing is like, okay, let's say the child is taped to the wall. After a while, like the tape gets old, so they start unsticking.
So we have to do a whole new moral code.
Yeah. And then I had basically based on JD's points and stuff like that, because and your points too, because you're talking about you got beat up every day and stuff like that. What if it was only on special occasions? And then what would those special occasions be? Right. And then I also had another one for and this is like an exploration subject. So what do different people from all around the world beat their kids with? Like different items. So some people beat them with shoes. Like I got beaten with whatever they roll the dough with, that kind of stuff.
So whippings are all circumstantial, right?
Right. Whippings is all good.
Whippings is classic. Like this, let's go for the exotic ones, right? Cool.
Man.
That's
The only
all.
reason why I thought about that is about kids is because my daughter, I just recently went through a whole thing with her. She let one of my birds go outside.
Oh.
And at that moment, my moral code was to,
Yeah.
but so that's why I thought about kids when I said about that. I'm like, what about? So just to get a heads up, what I got the idea.
So I had an idea while Eleanor was speaking too, talking about all these codes like girl code, guy code, moral code, motherfucking Da Vinci code. God damn, look at all the codes.
What's up with the codes? Just give me the straight message, clean.
Yeah.
I
Make this shit fucking hard to figure out. Just tell me. All
Too
right,
much.
I'm done.
Too much.
Is everybody done? Everybody done?
Yeah.
Everybody get up for our meeting again? Yay.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, Ray, you are up.
Alrighty. So my topic is bedtime stories.
Nice.
Okay.
So bedtime stories are a great parent-child bonding experience. I loved bedtime because of it. Now I love it because of sex and a genuine appreciation for sleep, but let's not get lewd. So even after my parents stopped reading to me, reading before bed has been a constant activity. It has since been replaced by like doom scrolling through social media or playing Sudoku because I just don't know how to turn off. I get way too into social media at times. I log on and I just, feel that instant rush when I see those sweet, sweet notifications. Do you ever get a notification and it's someone's birthday, so you just like promptly unfriend them because like you've forgotten they exist, so who cares? Something seems cruel about unfriending people on their birthday. I worry about karma, but like I recycle and share social justice posts, so I'm fine. So nothing anyway. Nothing was more relaxing as a kid than cuddling up to your mom or dad or any caregiver, gotta be inclusive, and reading one of your favorite books. Except when you were reading with the babysitter that touched you and then just distracted you from the story that was in this. Anyway, I was one of those kids that read only a percentage of their collection because I'd pick favorites. It's an ADHD spectrum thing. And there was such a sweet select few that I memorized them. And then I would tell the stories myself. So this is when I was too young to be able to read, but I would flip through the book and just like reenact them the best I could. So as time went on, I started embellishing the stories and truly making them my own, which is so fun as a kid. But it has given me this issue where I no longer clearly remember the plots of some of my favorites. So, like, I also have the habit of rewriting possible scenes in all media, especially if I'm sleepy, which is, I'm an adult, I'm always sleepy. So there are horror movies I remember as comedies. Like, Hereditary is not a slapstick. It's worse if you've seen it, isn't it? The Velveteen Rabbit is the story of a stuffed rabbit traveling around and befriending other toys until they become a real rabbit. They get to meet fairies and I don't know, there's something about Scarlet Fever, but who cares? The fairy was so pretty. That's all that matters in the story of the Velveteen Rabbit. Who cares if all the toys were burned? Whatever. One of my favorites growing up was Milk and Cookies. It is the story of the three bears staying at the abode of Grandma and Grandpa Bear. Baby Bear wakes up in the night and shares some milk and cookies with his grandpa, who then tells him the dragon was a furnace. Clearly a stereotypical grandpa just not wanting to replace a broken furnace. But, yeah. There's a monster at the end of this book. It was decided the book was trying to eat Grover because he kept trying to stop you from turning the pages. So I would just kind of like throughout the whole thing, just like fight the book. and it was destroyed as a kid anyway. So this isn't that book. This is like a special edition 30th edition Labyrinth that I bought in 2016 and never actually read. It's probably fine. But when it comes to bedtime stories, you automatically think of children's fiction, as that is the most staple age of life where bedtime stories are a part of the routine. So as you grow older, sometimes you lose interest or time for reading, and like that's fine. But those who continue reading before bed, like what becomes of their bedtime stories? Like Smut's the obvious answer, but again, like let's not go there. Literature can be so intense, and I have been left in varying states of distress from stories that just did not leave me restful. I recall being 9 and bawling over The Babysitter's Club because, you know, Christy's dog Louie died, and then like my mom came and she checked on me, and it was bad. Like I couldn't breathe. But like it did exhaust me, and I did eventually cry myself asleep. So reading works. and that's my.
All right.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
So, well done. That's a good job.
Oh, thank you.
So I got a few notes.
Yeah.
The first, when you said let's not get lewd, which I think is a perfect time to say something very fucking lewd.
Oh yeah.
You know, doesn't it feel cruel to unfriend somebody on their birthday? I fucking love it. You know? Just on that, you know, like there's something cruel about it. I fucking love it. You know. You said you like to. Well, I think you said something about when I'm sleepy, especially when I'm sleepy. I can't remember what you said, but
oh, I'm always sleepy. I'm an adult.
No, yeah, right. So, but you said, especially when I'm sleepy, which is, and you said, I'm an adult, I'm always sleepy. Just drop that, I'm an adult. Just put, especially when I'm sleepy, which is always, you know.
Always, yeah. Oh, people can tell I'm an adult. I'm at that point now. Amazing. Oh, God.
I read a lot of fiction growing up. These bedtime stories were mostly fiction, like The Three Little Bears, Cinderella, and Jesus. I really liked the stories about milk and cookies when I was little, but now I like MILF and cookies. And that's all I got.
Amazing. Thank you.
So you certainly covered a lot of different stories and a little bit everything all over the map. And I thought that was really cool how like didn't expect to go from Hereditary to the Velveteen Rabbit.
Yeah.
Actually, I had forgotten all about that movie. That was one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen. And that little girl was just so, so yeah, then I'm like, oh, now I got to think about the Velveteen Rabbit and that poor little boy. And you know, so it's like really gets you all over the place. And then you did slip in that comment about being molested by a babysitter. And that was that was not expected.
Yeah, I debated that. Honestly, I erased it and put it back in like 8 times all day.
I think that's one, like, you have to know your audience about whether they're going to,
Yeah, I figured it's a workshop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was my deciding factor in it. So I was just like, the worst that could happen is someone tells me not to use it.
I think with the college crowd, don't use it. I think.
I think college crowd would probably be the worst. That college crowd would probably, you know,
yeah, they would crucify you, probably.
Yeah, they would.
Eleanor? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you done, Caroline?
Yeah.
Okay. Eleanor.
Cool. So I had a few. I was kind of on JD's line. So bedtime stories. No, not like stepmom seduces well-endowed teen, which kind of to that because it is a bedtime story too. It also wouldn't work well as a pop-up book. What else did I have here? You mentioned that you had ADHD and kind of you were tired. So then you can say that, oh, well, I went on this whole like rant thing where basically your mind starts remixing, like you start, because you'd said you'd read all kinds of, like 5% of your whatever repertoire of books.
Yeah.
In my mind, with the ADHD is when it yes, you read 5%, but it wasn't like 5% whole books. It's like part of this, part of this, part of this.
Mhm.
So it became the Little Red Riding Hood went down to visit the 3 pigs, ate some porridge, passed out, and woke up thinking she ate one of her grandma or something. Like that. All like different stories.
Yeah, I like that.
And yeah, that's all I have. Yeah.
Right on, Mina.
All right. So you got me when you're like, I used to, when I was a little girl, I used to love bedtime stories, and now I like them just like sex. Like reading bedtime stories because sex. You could have said like something like, well, it's, Snow White had 7 men at one time, and Sleeping Beauty had to wait for that man to give her a nice little kiss. We said on the lip, we could be on different lips, set of lips. That's why she woke up. It could be like just go in there reason why you like the bedtime story is not as you're an adult. It's a little more juicier or something. That was very
smut.
So yeah. But when then you said that just like you have a caregiver, whoever reading your book, unless they're touching you, you threw me off. I thought you were gonna say you were one of those kids that got touched. That was gonna be like, oh my god. And then you went tell me different. So I was like, oh, she's like, and I was one of them kids. I was like, really? So I don't know. I thought you were gonna say like something towards that part, but you didn't. So but I'm gonna say you were gonna say you're one of those kids. You're like, yeah, I'm one of those kids that got touched, and I still can't figure out what happened to Goldilocks or something. I mean, it's one of those dark humors, but like you said, it depends on who your audience is. But other than that, like those are the only things I really had gotten to say on those. But yeah, I liked it.
So we got some Facebook comments. Says, love the birthday joke. Hold on, Eleanor, I'll get right back to
you. Oh yeah, the birthday.
My parents made me recite and memorize sections of the Bible, but it was only if I wanted food. I think Madonna enjoyed a good bedtime story. Word, love the Jesus joke. I think both my parents and I paid the babysitter. I don't know. Good feedback. What was you Eleanor? What was you gonna say?
I had another one.
Yeah.
I just saw that I wrote that down too. Because you also mentioned this in the set. You can have bedtime stories about karma, because you also mentioned karma in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have, I'm enjoying karma bedtime. I don't know, whatever. Just come up with if you want. If that's an average. Yeah.
So I have an idea about the guy that touched you or whatever, and you could say something, or the person who touched you. But their life turned out shitty. I mean, they're dead. No, they're fine, but they're fucking dead. Like jerk their audience around a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh God, my brain just went to like yeah, his life is shit now. He has kids, loser.
So we're 50 minutes in this. Are y'all in a hurry now, or y'all want to have a good time and tell some jokes? I like this shit's fun to me. Are y'all in a hurry?
Can't stop talking about my trauma. Yeah.
Okay. See, free therapy. All right, so I get the worst fucking subjects every time I do these things. I got dragon boat races.
Oh man, dragon boat races.
Hold on. So yeah. So my first thought was, one of these words don't belong. Let me give you a guess. Dragon boat races are fucking boat races. A dragon boat race is, you guessed it, a fucking boat race. Now, when I first heard dragon boat race, I was like, oh, hell yeah. This is going to be some redneck, high-powered, motorized bullshit I'm going to get into. But guess what? No. It's some bullshit fucking Chinese 12 people on a fucking boat. They dress their boat up like a fucking dragon. If you dress your boat up like a dildo, guess what? It ain't a dildo boat race. It's still a boat race. So you can imagine my disappointment. So like I said, there's 12 people on a boat and you're working together. They're fucking, and there's a guy in the back and he's the captain. The captain's in the back. There's 10 guys rowing. There's a captain in the back and there's one more guy on the boat. Guess what he's doing? He's the fucking drummer. They get a drummer on their boat. Like, what do you got to do to qualify to be that fucking guy? You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's fighting for that job. Everybody like is putting the best shit on their resume they can find to be the fucking drummer on the dragon boat race. I can promise you that. That's all I got, man. I thought it was a tough one.
And good job. Good job.
Carolyn.
Oh, Feedback?
Yes.
Okay. So that was a tough subject. I've certainly, at first I didn't know drag and boat race, did you say, or like a drag on a boat race? So I wasn't even sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. On my accident. I'm sorry.
No. It's because I'm just not familiar with it. Oh, okay. So this is something and it's really hard to do a comedy routine about something that I take it you never heard of a drag and boat race? Or
No.
None of us have, so we're kind of like just trying to figure this out. And then you did a good job explaining it, and like, oh, okay, now I kind of now I'm like really intrigued. I want to look this up on the internet and see learn about the drummer and everything else. And I mean, we need some props with that one. I think if you had like, props on sticks. Here's a little drag and boat race, and here's a drummer,
Or this motherfucker's up here just. This is what he does. Everybody else doing it. That's good. All right, Honor.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought, first of all, I'm aware of drag and boat races, and I also, my mind immediately went to the way you thought, where it's basically a bunch of rednecks dragging a boat until they find a lake, and then they start racing. But the race into the lake, that was hilarious. What else? Okay, so Dragon Boat Races is definitely not the Indy 500. No one gives a shit about this.
You could take a nap and still win.
Exactly. What else? I like the stuff that you were talking about with everybody's trying to get the drummer job.
Yeah.
Because it's really fucking hard to do the rest of the shit. But the stuff that he puts on a resume, like I can keep a beat, I can stop on cue. It's actually probably an important job too, because if he is setting the beat and the other guys listen to the beat and they fuck up, they can start beating him with the oars. So that's kind of where I was.
If he loses a stick or one of those.
Yep. Fucking, it's in the lake now.
So what you got qualifications got to be? You got 2 fucking arms? Is that
it? Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is that all you usually do?
That's all I had. Yeah.
All right, Armina.
I want to go with him as well. Like, when you sat there and said, well, what do you have to do to get this job? Could have been, like you said, like, you know, I could keep a beat, or I hung out with a bunch of Black people because apparently they know how to have beats, you know, something like that. Especially since you said they were Asian. I don't think Asians have beats, do they? Are they on beat? I don't know. I don't know what they have. But I
think it's funny. Like, I was going to go out for drummer, but the black dude showed up.
Yeah, right. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was really funny. I was like, okay. And then when you said a whole bunch, like a big long dick with people in it, like I just pictured a dildo with these little men on top of it rolling on it when you said that. So that was just, I don't know if you want to elaborate more on it or something, but I thought that was pretty funny. But the whole, I didn't know I didn't know it was called a dragon race. I didn't know that was a boat race. I thought it was just a boat race. But I guess it's a name for it. So learn something new every day.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Ray.
I don't have too much to add. I don't want to just be like, yes, tough topic, good tough topic, good job, expand, good fun. I'm sorry. Literally just like everything I had has been said, so I'm just like, okay.
So we do have a couple of Facebook comments. Dragon Boat Race is RuPaul the captain. I think that was definitely, you could go that avenue, drag race, does a drag boat race have a female crew because they're all oars? I appreciate the feedback, Facebook user. So we are come to the portion of the show where we are going to go do our own material. We're going to give you 5-6 minutes, and we're going to start with Carolyn. And Carolyn, whenever you are ready, fire away.
Well, I just like to. I started writing songs about a year ago today, and my first song was not comedy. It's a very depressing song about all the very depressing things that were going on at the time, and been a year. Things are still pretty depressing throughout the world, but I am all out of tears and I have just degenerated into hysterical maniacal laughter. So, especially when I read the latest headlines in Indiana, this is a true story. We are experiencing a plague on top of a plague, so a meta plague, a plague of cicadas with this plague of fungus. And this fungus is a combination of a hallucinogen, an aphrodisiac, and extreme crotch rot. So what it does to these poor cicadas is makes them all high and loopy and really horny, and they're so, they're so tripping they don't even know if they're male or female, and they want to mate with both genders, but they can't mate with either because their stuff falls off and just drops these fungal spores everywhere. So I just had to write a song about this because why not? So 2020 gave us locusts, murder, hornets, and exploding zombie meat, wildfires, and tornadoes. 2021 says, so last year, now hold my beer. It's psychedelic, gender-bending, zombie-bottom, fungified cicadas. Been such a year of pain and fear. First Dr. Seuss, then genderless potatoes. Now gender-bending zombies comes along, infesting Indiana brood cicadas. Just when the CDC says that it's safe to take your mask off, here comes cicadas high on fungus till they trip their ass off. Each day the headlines scream of death and mayhem, but what they now need to cover on the news. When it comes to gender-bending zombie butt cicadas, please tell us all what bathroom they must use. And with their crotches falling off with fungus, no abortions because there is no intercourse. But what's most pressing for Alabama is all the teams that can't play high school sports. One more crazy 2020 thing. Suspicions about that Wuhan lab ordeal. It's so infuriating. China's not cooperating because they're acting like there's something to conceal. And we may never know for sure if nature or a leaky lab in Wuhan was ground zero for corona. But psychedelic, gender-bending, zombie butt cicadas escape from voting booths in Arizona. Don't tell us that through spittle or through feces. There'll be some intermediary species. 'Cause that's one thing the world don't need to add to our insanity. Psychedelic, gender-bending, zombie-bottom, fungified humanity. But is that bad now? I'm not really sure. The world's gone mad and that could be the cure. The world's gone mad and that could be the cure.
Woo.
That's it.
Woo!
All right, Eleanor.
Damn, I wasn't expecting this.
That was a lot. That was a lot.
That was a lot. Because I didn't expect the whole song, so I was making notes at the beginning about the introduction, which now I know it's an introduction, but I thought at first it was the thing. With the Indiana plague, you could just go like super, like we got a double, super, extra, ultra, duplex plague, whatever. Just keep going with this. Also, you mentioned the word combination crotch rot. I just laughed myself at that, and I'm like, hey, I know some other people that might have crotch rot. I know Paris Hilton has it, Lindsay Lohan has it, Harvey Weinstein has it, Jeff Epstein probably has it, even probably R. Kelly has it. They all get the crotch rot. And probably some other people that should have it. And then you can list off a bunch of them. Yeah. You could be like, Trump definitely he's got it on his hands, the crotch rot for sure. But okay, and then you went into the music stuff, which is, it's cool. I'm not normally like going for like musical acts, but the way you did it, I liked like a lot. Obviously, not all the houses were the same. Like, I mean, like all the parts were the same constructed and similar like strength, right? But there were some where you kind of went deep, and it was like rap, like straight up. Melodically, it all rhymed. You were spitting bars, basically.
Yeah, spitting bars. Okay.
And it was strong, especially melodically, like the ta cicadas, blah 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 blah. And it was catchy too. I could see they something to it. Oh yeah, I had one note about it, and it's more like I think logistical. Not that I know anything about sound and stuff, but because sometimes you would look at the screen and at the music and at the thing. So just placing your mouth to where the mic was, because some of the punches might have been missed because when you were like moving around, so some of it might not have been into the speakers, like into the mic.
Yeah, that was the hardest part, was because I got my camera here and my keyboard here, the music here,
100%.
and not only that, I'm trying to move in because with the left-right thing, I'm trying to move into the camera space. I'm moving away from it.
100%. And you had pops and stuff and everything. I know that's super hard, and you probably had like I don't know how long you were working on this, but yeah. Again, I am no sound engineer by any. I can't even pronounce the fucking word. So there we go.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, Armina, up to you.
I don't even know what to say. The song was catchy, and it was so funny. Like the things that you say, it reminded me of Weird Al. Y'all know who Weird Al is?
Oh
yeah. It reminded me so much of like listening to his music and just be laughing like, "What? Really? Did she just say that?" Like I like that, and it was really different. Like you say, you're not used to the music thing, but set. I'm not used to it either. I've never really had anybody go on stage and have a music set like that, and it's different, and I like it. I have nothing really to say, but the whole thing was funny. I like it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
I liked the backup music choice because like just like at first like I'm expecting like a ukulele or like something like that. So then when you drop a beat, I'm just like, oh, okay, let's go. I loved that. Like I like honestly like the flaws are literally just like practice more and then you'll do your best. Also
storyteller.
Yeah. Oh, and one small little like maybe tag note for you is just in time for Pride Month, the cicadas have gone bisexual.
Since they have sex, right? There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was one of my concerns, was those comments about the bathrooms and the high school sports. I wanted to be clear. I'm making fun of transphobia. I'm not making fun of transgender people.
As a trans person, I got that. Yeah, I got it's just like I am, I am one of them folks that don't like being mocked and such. So like I really don't. I'm a snowflake, and you didn't melt me.
Oh, thank you.
Is that it? Okay.
Well, that makes okay.
So I just one little punchline I thought, and everything else was actually pretty tight, in my opinion. You talked about how they were high and horny, and I they're basically teenagers. I thought that could have been funny. Like, they're all jerked up or hopped up on hormones and.
Well, I've got to show you. I've got to find you the original article. The original article is hysterical. Yeah. I'll have to put it in the comments. I'll put it in the comments later. But yeah.
Sure.
And I also have it on YouTube.
We do have some couple of Facebook comments. They are creating 600 bodies a day in India. That's horrible. I hate the smell of Indian cooking.
That was worse than that T-shirt I told you about.
You were so good at singing complex lyrics. Good job.
Yes.
And that was actually true. That's a good critique, even though it was a positive thing. It's right on point. So Eleanor, everybody give it up for Carolyn one last time. Good job. Eleanor, the stage is yours.
Okay, let's follow it with half-assed jokes. Boom. So I don't know if you heard this, but the price of lumber got high. I'm not surprised. I'm a veteran of the lumber industry. Shout out Alberta Plywood. Shout out Keith with no front teeth. I have an idea about why it's like that. I'm pretty sure I know. So I don't know if you recently noticed, but there's a giant play going on outside. People are rioting for whatever reason. There's a ton of reasons for them to riot, and they all just take them to. They told people stay at home. They're like, nope, we're gonna go out. And the store owners decided that they're gonna not want to break their plexiglass windows, so they're gonna board it all up. That's basically why the price of lumber goes up, because it's economics. This is why the price of lumber is now the same as the plate glass of window. It's just it's just evening out, right? This is basic economic theory, right? Apparently, basic economic theory is wrong. Also, we found out that trickle down doesn't work. None of that kind of shit does work, really. I kind of learned that kind of stuff, and there's something more kind of new in the world of finance called finance, economics, and all that stuff. Prospect theory, and it's part of game theory and all that kind of stuff. So the gist of the point is like this, right? So let's say you find $20 in an old coat. You're gonna be fucking happy, but you're gonna be happy for like 5 minutes. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I just reached into my pocket, got my $20. Fuck yeah. Now, let you use $20 that you did have in your wallet, and now you don't see them there. You're like, what the fuck? Where did my $20 go? You're gonna spend like 3 days thinking, what the fuck? Where did the money go? How did I lose it? Where did it go? Did somebody steal it from me? The base of the theory is that your reactions to gaining and to losing money are completely disproportional. So you're twice as likely to be super angry when you lose, and only a little bit happy when you gain. Taking that into account, people invest in Bitcoin because apparently they don't realize that the money that's going to nowhere is not worth losing. So I don't know if you've noticed or kept following, but then there's all this to the moon shit and all these kinds of things that people are making themselves millionaires out of Bitcoin. That's great. That's awesome. But where Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies meet the real world is basically, they call it the use case. We must find a greater use case for a Bitcoin. Like, first of all, bitch, if it was useful, you would have found a case for it. And it is useful. If you thought about it, it is used in very, very specific fields. So every time a hacker blackmails somebody, we use Bitcoin. If I kidnap your child, I want Bitcoin. And also, pretty much in any case of fraud. So the actual, you know what? There's another field. I don't know if you ever heard about what Silk Road is, but whenever you were about to buy drugs online, on the dark web, order hits online, buy guns and shit like that, guess what? You don't do it with the dollar. You do it with crypto. Why? Because you can't be traced, apparently, even though you apparently can. So surprise, surprise, we're not going to do Bitcoin anytime soon. Damn, what else did I have? Give a shout out to Keith. Yeah, and other stuff is just ramblings about the government, so we'll not do that.
All right. Cool. Armina, feedback?
All of it was funny, to be honest. Like, you had some good points, especially when you were talking about the current events stuff going on. I just like that. I'm horrible with talking about current events, especially with the coronavirus and stuff like that, because people, they have their opinions. So, but you did really good. Like, I like it. I really don't have any really bad things to say or anything for you to look up or do. Like, I think the whole thing was good. Your whole set was good. It had me dying. I laughed.
Cool.
Ray?
You're on mute.
There you go.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
All right. Hi. So
I know exactly what I'm doing here.
I'm a professional. Anyway, so because a lot of that was just like riffing and working off, so I don't have too much to say other than like tighten, you know, get the, that's fine. I wrote a note that I half wrote hoping I would remember what it meant, and all it says is gonna riot.
Okay.
That means nothing to me, so I think it means
Okay.
bitches gonna riot. Like, if that means anything to you, bitches.
That's,
and that's my advice to you.
Yeah. If you don't
I
take
didn't write
anything else from the
down
workshop tonight.
Sorry?
If you don't take anything else from the workshop tonight.
Bitches.
Right.
Just gonna riot. That, I like this.
Gonna riot.
Was that it?
Bitches gonna riot.
So you started out, I really like the way you started out. You said you was familiar with wood. Like you was like, I love wood. Oh no. I think it's also a great opportunity to make fun of Trump supporters that are now like losing their mind because the price of wood's going up. It's like, we should blame Biden. Absolutely do not blame capitalism. Like,
okay.
like, which is, you know, obviously a fucking why the price of wood's going up. You know, it's the way the system works.
I didn't even know they were blaming Biden for it.
They blame him for everything.
Yeah. They blame everybody, everything.
Sure, yeah.
Bitch is
also,
gonna riot.
you was starting to get in talking about how you started finding money in your pocket, and that was the best thing. Like, so I started thinking about how money was like sex, and like when I'm about to get my rocks off, nothing else matters. Anything in the world, nothing else matters. Like anything else that happens in this world, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's like when you find $20 in your pocket, that's the best shit. Like, I don't care about genocide in the fucking Middle East right now because I just found $20 in my pocket. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Bitcoin, he was talking a lot about Bitcoin, is now the accepted currency on Pornhub. In unrelated news, I'm now investing in Bitcoin.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
And that's all I know. So I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. All right, Carolyn. Oh, go ahead, Carolyn.
I was just like reflecting what you're saying about, you know, the riots and how the price of wood is going up because you need all the wood to board things up. And of course, that's kind of where my city was about a year ago. And just how, so I'm kind of thinking, you know, so I'm thinking about that and then thinking about how I don't know anything about Bitcoin myself. So I'm trying to follow that. And and it always seemed like, yeah, it's this in the cloud kind of pseudo currency. What the hell is that? So it's, that was good there. And, wait, who was it made the comment about that's what they use to pay Pornhub now? Oh yeah,
no,
of course. Come on now.
I'm definitely
good one who made that comment.
That's wrong.
There's got to be a whole bunch of jokes. I can't think of any on the top of my head along those lines, but
I think I'm gonna take your point about explaining a little bit, my own point of like trashing it a little bit, and then flip it and be like, you know what? Recent news, it just got accepted by Pornhub. I'm flipping. I'm going all Bitcoin all day.
Yeah, I like it. Was that it for everybody? Everybody good? We had some comments in the Facebook section. So you're into wood? BLM, Black Bought Lumber Matters. And I love finding money in jeans. Luckily, people on the bus are sound sleepers. And everybody get up for Eleanor one last time.
Boom.
And Armina, you have the floor.
All right. So here's a couple of things that I've been working on. My first one is I was watching the Underground Railroad on Netflix. If anybody watched it, it's not the typical Underground Railroad type of a show. So if you ever get a chance to watch it, go for it. But the reason why I brought it up is because in the show they would say you're a slave, and then they would identify a free slave. Like, how does that work? Like, how are you a free slave? Like, do they back in the day where they supposed to say I'm free or I'm a slave? Like, you know how now that we talk, we'd be like, man, it's hot outside, or man, you know, they cray out there. Like, is that what you're supposed to say back in the day? Like, well, I'm free or I'm a slave. Like, I don't understand how this whole free slave thing went about. I don't think I would survive being a slave, to be honest. I don't think that would ever happen. Like, I think they'll probably end up hanging me, since we sing it things twice, right? But anywho, I recently just got in trouble. Well, not really in trouble. I guess I got frowned upon because I said that transgenders were transformers, which I thought they were. I mean, you transform from one thing to another. So doesn't that make you a transformer? I thought it was really cool. Like, I thought I was really cool hanging out with somebody who transformed, and they're like, no, you can't call transformers. I'm like, now I'm in the bad boat with them because I'm not allowed to call them transformers. So you guys, just want to put that out there. That was my little sad story for the day. So yeah. Anywho, another thing that I have going on right now is me and my boyfriend, we've been setting dates to have sex, and we drink all of our water, we do all of our exercises and everything. And when it comes to the point where for us to have sex, I fall asleep. And I was wondering, anybody else have this problem? Because I always fall asleep before or during or after. Is that normal? Does anybody else know? Okay, that's why I do comedy, because I need counseling. So, and because I have kids, so that's another thing. Another thing that I've been having, I'm venting to you guys. This is my venting. This is part of my set, but it's also venting too. I have a 6-year-old who gets expelled or suspended from school. She's in kindergarten. I don't know how you get suspended from kindergarten, but the teacher keeps calling me up, telling me I need to talk to my daughter. And I don't understand, because I graduated already. I went through my kindergarten stages. So now I feel like it's time for her to go through her kindergarten stages. So I feel like if I send them to school, that's all the teacher's problems. That didn't do with me no more. Like, I don't understand what this agreement where I need to talk to her. No, you go to school. You don't go to, if she don't go to school, then now I got to find a job for her. But then it's frowned upon for me to find a job because of child labor. So it's like this whole thing. I don't understand this whole school thing. It made me mad, because now I'm like, so you want me to find her a job, or does she need to go to school? Because I need more money in the household. But you guys frown upon child labor. China it is. We're going to China. Sounds like a plan. So that's one of my things. I have one more thing before I go. So like I said, I have a boyfriend, and yeah, we just like any other relationship, we go through a lot of problems. He had a problem with me going to see Mike every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I don't understand why. And he's like, "You're always gonna go see Mike every Tuesday and Thursdays." Well, I'm sorry. He's always open. He's a long black thing that I like to hold, and he's firm, and I can hold him, and I can just do whatever I want with him. You know, it's open mic. Like, I don't understand why he had a problem with that. All right, that's my time, you guys. You guys have a good night.
Hey, right?
Yeah, I like the end open mic bit, just to start off at the back. And then yeah, so to just, I'm just gonna go backwards, whatever. Suspension is just more or less punishments for my bad parenting. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I just liked that line and that rant, so there.
I got you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, after hanging, when you repeat it twice, that's so funny. That's great. Don't explain it. Let it sit.
Okay.
Trust your audience. Just be, like since we're hanging everything. No. Just, we get it. We were there. We know.
Okay.
Yeah, I love like the free save.
The free slave.
The free slave and slave. I would almost like want to liken it to like D&D alignments, like neutral, evil, and whatnot. if you're into that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
She froze.
That's fine. After the trans joke, you're canceled.
Oh,
Yeah. There we go. That's a good one. Okay.
So is that offensive, Ray?
Hello?
Is a transformer joke, is it offensive? Like, is it okay?
Yeah.
Well,
is that, I froze, and then everyone else froze because like my phone is my internet because I'm a poor person. So what's that?
the
Transformer joke. Is it?
Oh, is the transformer joke offensive?
Yes.
I think that there's a better way to cut it to make it punchier, but like, I think if you phrase it as your own misunderstanding, I think that works great, because I think the way for cis people to talk about trans issues is to talk about it from their misunderstood perspective, because other than that, you are showing your misunderstood perspective, and that's where that line gets messy. So like, I like how you're already like touching on the like, I thought it was okay, and I would even add I've been canceled.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great take.
Right. I like that too.
Are you done, Ray?
Yeah, that's all.
So I really like the hanging joke. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was really well done. It was good setup, and then the hanging. I really it was good. So I think you get a little bit wordy about the when you're talking about drinking water, stretching out, and then I go sleep, then I pass out. I think you need to eliminate all that. I stretch out, I drink my water, and I pass the fuck out. That's just like don't explain too much, don't over explain it. Just get to the punch.
Okay.
I like the idea about the school calling you when your kids are at school. It's like, I don't call the principal when he's here. Fuck that kid. And also, I think you should talk shit about your boyfriend. Like, it's open mic, Michael. It's not a get your shit together, bro.
Okay.
Well, that's all I got. Carolyn.
I don't have a lot to add. I think all the things have already been covered. The hanging, and of course, I was also thinking about the whole transformer thing, but I think Ray covered that very well. So, very good feedback there. So, I think it's good feedback for all of us about if we're talking about somebody, if we're talking about another group, and it's like, do we want to make sure we're not offensive? We have to make it about our own ignorance rather than being about the other person.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I had nothing against transgenders. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I could tell that wasn't like an out of hate thing. So,
right.
Yeah.
Like, that's totally the difference. It's like when you're just like, oh, all these chicks with wieners and hatred, and like that's when it's just like, okay, sit down, Joe Rogan. Like, you're fine. Does he even do stand-up anymore? Like, why was that my example? But I could anyway. Yeah, he did anyway. That's not what we're talking about, Caroline.
I think another thing is, and it might be just because it's almost midnight for me, and I've been up since 5, so it's like a lot of different topics, and sometimes it's kind of hard for me to go from one completely different topic to another. But I think that I know I sometimes with limited time, like I had the same thing. It was like, oh, I've got 5 minutes, blah, blah, blah. So I think sometimes it's more limited topics, a little slower, more pauses, then people get to respond. And it's also harder because with this format, we don't hear the laughter. So it's usually like you hear the laughter, then you pause when they're laughing or hoping they're laughing. But when it's just 5 of us, and you just keep going. So that's about it.
All right.
Good job.
Thank you.
First of all, I love everything. I'm just gonna give you some tags. If you're down for him. You're down for him. You're down for him. If you're not down for him, I can understand. So the first one is what is a free slave? Are you now your own master? You can go with that, depending on if you feel like it. Hanging from a tree. What is this? Okay, yeah. The transgenders are transformers. I laughed at that a lot. Because you can go deep into the name of it. Like, why? Like, I think transformers is a cooler name. Because first of all,
who doesn't want to be Optimus Prime?
Right.
Who knows what their
Optimus
final form is going to be? They can just keep transforming. You don't know. Plus, Transformers can go back and forth. At no repercussion,
Gotcha.
no cost. They can just do it. What was this? Okay, hold on. Something about falling asleep during sex. Oh yeah. Falling asleep during sex. So apparently I'm not aware of this. I hear it from my boyfriend, but apparently I snore when I climax.
I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, with the child labor, you can go back to the slave.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good callback. Absolutely.
Yeah. And open mic, with just the open relationship with the open mic. You know, you can just, I don't know.
Relationship.
But yeah.
We'll let us know.
Yeah. Mike is so open. I got an open relationship with him and stuff. So.
All right.
So we have a couple of Facebook comments. One is, I'm sorry, were you done?
No, I'm done. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Said Mr. Potato Head is now free to be Mr. Potato Head. Your best jokes of the night, and Octopus Prime.
Okay.
That's the guy. Ray, are you still connected to us audio?
Am I?
We
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah.
Your video is frozen.
Sorry, am I
There
what?
you are.
Oh, there we go.
Hey!
Do I sound okay?
You
It
sound
reminded
fine.
me of that commercial with that auntie was trying to see the newborn baby. Y'all see that commercial?
Oh no, what happened?
Well, the camera kept
not
on
the commercial,
freezing.
sorry.
So, oh, my bad.
Yeah, commercials are great. I'm more just like my internet. Oh,
But we can hear you though.
you
So
can
we
hear me?
So,
Yeah.
we can hear you. So you go, Ron, whenever you're ready. You got the stage.
Alrighty. So, I don't know if anyone noticed, but I'm a little hot. You know, like whatever, it's fine. It has its pros and cons though. Like one pro is being I'm hot. And a con is like every time I hold an aerosol container, it explodes in my hand. Because I'm hot. So I am like a trained actor, performer, etc. I went to film school, you know. I'm impressive. You should see my resume. It's purple. You can Google me. Don't Google me. I've been involved in a lot of cool projects. I probably haven't heard of any of them, but you'll take my word for it once I get drunk and make you watch a bunch of 4 to 9 year old YouTube videos that are connected to student films. But hey, whatever, it's fine. I used to get drunk and show people my MySpace, but then they took it down, which is fair. Not only is it a dead medium, but like there was a picture of my bum. My 15-year-old bum. But by the way, blaming your farts is gaslighting. I worked hard to get this hot, or at least like I had low self-esteem long enough to also become a little funny. One time when I was a kid, I ate 4 hamburgers and 3 hot dogs in one sitting, and I was super proud of it. When my friend asked me how many hot dogs I could eat on her birthday, I said as many as I want. And I was promptly uninvited to her birthday party. I've struggled with an eating disorder since I was 12. But that's not the joke. That's not the joke. That is the backstory. My mom, bless her soul, is aware of this, having been my mom. And at the beginning of the pandemic, my mom, who is my mom and knows this, challenged me to a weight loss competition. And like, not only is that inappropriate, but let's be real, Mom, I would crush you. Have you ever been eavesdropping on your mom gossiping with her friend and then find out that your dad doesn't eat pussy? No. Me neither. Speaking of eating pussy, I went on a date recently. Just kidding. There's the pandemic. This is an old joke. Anyway, I went on a date recently and it went really well. And at the end of the date, I said to them, I'd invite you upstairs, but you dropped me off at the GO station. It's fun though. I'm polyamorous, so like I'm always dating, always. So my girlfriend and I have been together for over a year, and she works so hard during sex. Like, she has me yelling, "Oh my God," so much. And like, why is he getting all the credit? All he does is watch. I had a lot of issues with like God always watching, because like when someone dies that like they're with God. So then when my grandma died, she was always watching me masturbate. It was a whole thing. So what I did, kid logic, it's great, was I decided that every time I wanted to masturbate, I would do push-ups instead. So what ended up happening is I just became a very jacked and angry teenager. But in my teens, I love science. I'm a science person. I went to school for nursing. Went to school for nursing, film school, acting, improv. I have so much debt and so much depression that if I'm having trouble crying, I just open up my student loans and it just gives me a reason to be sad. But one of my favorite theories, or just like, the best known ones that I talk about, is Schrodinger. Not only because I like saying it, Schrodinger, it's fun. I actually just discovered that in this moment now. Schrodinger. Anyway, should I have had wine before this? Anyway, Schrodinger was the worst pet sitter. You come back from vacation and he's like, I have good news and bad news. The good news is I have an important theory. And your cat may not be dead. So then you ask, what do you mean? And he just looks at you and says, exactly. Yeah, that seems to be the end of my notes, so that will be the end of my set. I hope you all have enjoyed, and I'm not religious, but whoever your God may be, may they bless you.
So I'm first on the feedback. Just a few things. The MySpace. You can talk about your age. Because obviously we're all old. If you had MySpace, you're old. You was talking about being hot. He's like, I had to work really hard to be this hot. I actually ran in place for hours to be this hot.
Sorry, I missed that.
You missed that?
I just didn't hear it.
It said you work hard to be this hot, and you finish up like, I had to run in place for hours to get this way.
Oh.
Mother-daughter competition. Then you was talking about the pussy eating. Well, Mom, I do get my pussy eaten, so I win. You talk about your girlfriend. She works hard during sex. She works hard to get hot too. Like, you could do a callback there, I think. God watching us used to freak me out, but now, I kind of like it.
Yes.
That's all I got. Carolyn?
So it was. We sadly missed a lot because of the frozen video. But my favorite line was the one about the gaslighting. That was why didn't I think of that one? But I was thinking there was that the thing about the eating disorder, and I'm thinking, okay, there's so other places you can go with that. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but the whole Now we did that whole thing. I would crush her. Was that supposed to be like, yeah, because
I've been practicing since I was 12.
that's a good one. Or some, yeah, a lot of, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those genuine reaction joke in the moments that I made. Like I was just like, yeah. So I just decided to try it.
So, some of the other, yes, I should take notes because my short-term memory sucks right now. But
it's awful late.
I'm sorry, guys. Was that all you had, Carolyn?
I'm going to think of it as soon as my turn's over. But so I'll pass and think of it. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, me.
Ronald, do you have anything?
Yes, sir. Okay, let's see. So you're saying, oh, I'm now hot and I have to find ways to cool myself down, and you can just start coming up with like, I have to drive with all my windows open. I have to dip in random pools all the time, even if it's just puddles, stuff like that.
I started splashing myself, but that just gets me hotter.
Yeah. You could go like that. You also mentioned at the start something about being poor, or I might be getting confused with the other set.
I think
something
I just
about
casually mentioned being poor, but yeah.
You probably have. Later on, you talk about the student loans too, but hold on. This is what I'm getting at. You were talking about the hamburger and hot dog eating competition, and then getting invited to the hot dog birthday party. So then you're like, okay, you can be reminiscing at it from the perspective of the poor person, like, well, how many hot dogs can you eat? What I should have said, knowing now that this is my current state, I should have said, how many you got? And then, because I could probably use the calories or the reserves or whatever. Yeah, you mentioned that you find out that your dad doesn't eat pussy. So then, now do you confront him over this? And then how does that go? But you can't just lay it down on your dad like that. You have to be like, hey, Dad, do you like fish?
You have a mustache. Why waste it?
Yeah. You can take it however you want. Like my tax rule for this were kind of weak because it was fish sticks, but then I'm like, well, fish sticks in South Park, so I can't say shit like this. And then, okay, you like fishing, right? Yeah, I do. Why? Because you won't go down on Mom. It's just completely just straight like shoot it instead of like just going with the analogy. Oh yeah, and I like the Schrodinger thing. I think
it was over my head, by the way.
Sorry?
That was over my head.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's like like there's a cat in a cardboard box. How do you know without opening it if it's alive or dead? So you don't know if it's alive or dead until you open it, and then at this point, like up until the actual second that you open it, it's in a state that it's either alive or dead. So you can't know. Okay. Well, fuck it, it's a mindfuck thing. So yeah, then you. Oh yeah, so you can add another line when you said like they come back from your from your vacation. So about your cat, and then you go into like the cat's dead, or is it? I can't remember exactly what you said, but you can. Yeah, I don't know if it's another tag in there in between.
Yeah, I was trying to do like a callback to like the I have good news and bad news to like me being a pros and cons. Yeah, so that was.
Yes, that's exactly where I was gonna shove that in there. So about your cat just before the good news and bad.
Carolyn, you said you had something you remember something apparently.
Oh yeah, the things that I was going to say and then I forgot until now. Okay.
Amazing.
Okay, about the eating disorder, you have to tie that into the like how many hot dogs you can eat and all that, and you got to have some callbacks there. I can't remember which we talked about first, but either the I'm the one who ate the 40 hot dogs and
and I kept at least 6.
Yeah, there you go. Then not counting the laxatives I took, I kind of lost count of those. But you also have to you have to tie either the eating disorder or the whole Schrodinger's cat thing, or both, to the eating pussy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At least I know it was safe from my dad.
All right, Arlena.
All right. It's kind of the same thing with callbacks. Like when you're talking about your dad eating pussy, and then going back to saying how God watching you having sex. You'd be like, well, was God not watching you eating pussy? Like, is he not supporting you on that? Like, what's going on here? He watches everything else. You could have did a callback on that one. I thought that was pretty funny. And it went back to me thinking about, I didn't hear my parents. I just kind of seen them on accident. So it brought back some flashbacks there. And I can also go back to when you talk about when you had this order when you were little, eating disorder, and then you got invited to a birthday party about the hot dogs. And then you can also bring back to be like, and that's how I got my way through. That's why I look at my my student loans, because I was eating my way through trying to pay student loans or something like that, something like that, to go onto that line, because it just kind of like it all kind of like went together. So I don't know, that's just something that I had came up with on that. And those are the only things I got. But other than that, good punchlines.
So we have a couple of Facebook user comments. You're so hot that in a foursome with a white guy, a black guy, and a redneck, you can make s'mores.
Okay.
Polyamorous, you sleep with parrots, or you just want a cracker? Schrodinger's cat perfectly describes marriage. You never know if that pussy is alive tonight. All right, so everybody give up for Ray one last time.
Woo. Yay.
All right, so I'm just going to do a few minutes and we'll shut this thing down. Here we go.
Let's do it.
So a couple of you guys have probably heard this set mostly, but I've been lazy and I've not wrote a whole lot. So, but here we go again. I thought these May temperatures would bring cooler weather, but I'm telling you, it is harder than R. Kelly watching High School Musical out there. Oh, my mom is 65 years old and she just started texting, and she thinks she can abbreviate everything. The other day I was at the store, and you need to understand where I live. I live in Appalachia. Like, all I see all day, every day is white people. And so I'm at the store the other day, and she was like, "Hey, Jason, can you pick me up a BBC?" And I was like, "Mom, I don't know what you think that is, but whatever you think that is." And I'm pretty sure they don't sell at the Warfield IGA. And she was like, "I don't know. It's over there by the potatoes. I seen it just the other day. I only need that."
Oh, goodness.
And I was like, "Mom, what exactly do you think the BBC is?" She was like, "I just really need a bag of baby carrots from Alvaro's. What is the problem?" And yeah. I've been dating a lot, man. I'm 41 years old. I'm single. Been out in the dating scene. It's been crazy. I went on a date with a lady. I thought she was a feminist. Turns out she just has a terrible haircut. We actually started going out, and we had the celebrity list between us. Like, so I don't know if you know what a celebrity list is, but a celebrity list is like, if you see somebody that you want to sleep with, you get a free pass. You can go sleep with them, right? So I was like, "Okay, girl, name 3 people you want to sleep with. Let's have your celebrity list." She was like, Richard Gere, Jason Momoa, and John Stamos. And I was like, same. Also, I got a vasectomy a few years ago. That was an interesting story. I went in for a vasectomy, and I was nervous as could be. I couldn't remember what to fill out on my paper. They said, "What are you here for? Do you know how you fill in? You're like, what time your appointment is and all that stuff. What are you here for?" And I could not remember the name of vasectomy. I could not for the life of me. So I was like getting clipped. And so I'm back here in this little waitress, I'm so stupid. Little nurse running around. And she's like, "Oh, did you shave?" "Oh, yeah, I see you shaved. Could you please put your penis up on your belly button?" I was like, "Hey, I ain't never going to have anything around now." Unless you want me to bend over, my penis ain't going to touch my belly button. Oh, man. I got 3 kids. I've been a single father. Just got out of a terrible custody battle with my kids. I lost. So now I've got the kids. But no, I do. I've got it's weird, man, being a father, right? Like, I love being a father. It's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. But, watching your child take the first step, say the first words, the first day of school. This year, my oldest son found out there was no Santa Claus. I mean, he's 19 years old, so fucking it'd be all right. Like, my daughter now talks in emojis. My 15-year-old daughter, she talks in emojis now. We went out school shopping, and she's like, "Oh, Dad, I heart this skirt. I heart this shirt. Oh, I love it so much." So we go out to sit down there, and a little waitress walks by, a little cute little thing. And I was like, "Hey, Haley, I like to eggplant that waitress over." My youngest son, he's been having a tough time at school this year, doing the virtual learning. It's been a tough year for everybody, I think, right? And so he comes in the middle of the day, goes like, "Dad, I got all my spelling words right." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, cool, son. Give me 5. We walked in there, and it says 66%. I said, "This motherfucker can't spell or do math. What the fuck is going on?" So my kids, man, they have really reiterated my ideal. I'm a pro-choice. Like, I believe, like, my kids have reiterated my strength and my pro-choice stance. And I don't believe in long-term. I don't believe in long-term abortion. I believe after 12, 15 years, you should have to keep them. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm good. That's
nice.
Good.
Good job.
All right, Carolyn, what you got?
That one that at the end was, I've got I was going to say I have teenagers myself, one's 20, but yeah, so yeah, I guess too late for that. But I'm going to remember when like I said, my short-term memory is crap because it was all funny and I was following it, and then it's like, okay, but then when I get called, it's like, oh yeah. So I'll pass.
All right, it'll
come back. It'll come back to me.
Hilarious. I heard the BBC before.
Yeah.
Like yours, like I heard you say it before. It was awesome. I wanted you to go into the other one, the LOL one that you didn't do tonight.
The LOL.
You had something with either LOL or something like that. You had another one with
lots of love instead of laugh out loud. Yeah.
Something like that. And yeah. Some with prayers and stuff like that when somebody dies. It was hilarious. Obviously, celebrity list. I died. I was like the misdirect there. I was like, same. I was like, I was not expecting this. That was fire. And then now I don't even remember what came after it, but it was also like it was a punch. It was real fire. Just whatever was right after this. Just on the interaction you had now with Carolyn. Yeah, like I think I have these kids, whatever long-term abortions. In fact, I think abortion should come back once they're 18 and they're not leaving my house. I should have a right abortion back. And yeah, that's all I had.
Will do. Thank you.
I like when you were talking about the LOL and the emojis. Well, I think I swear I heard the LOL one too before, but you didn't say it, so.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it. I was really waiting for it. I was like, LOL. No? Yeah. Okay, OMG. Make my own stuff up. I thought that was pretty funny. And then when you're talking about how your son is 19 years old and just found out there's no such thing as Santa Claus, it kind of reminded me of how my daughter just found out there's no such thing as Easter Bunny and Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy because they're buried in my auntie's backyard. So, and then she went around telling the whole entire school. So yeah, but that is how that reminded me on that. But just you talk about being a parent. Period. I don't have teenagers, but I can relate. My kids just talk and walk and do stuff. So, but yeah, I like the whole thing.
How do y'all feel about the R. Kelly joke? Do you like it?
Yes.
Which one?
Yeah.
The R. Kelly joke.
Yeah. The R. Kelly joke.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Yeah, the only like I did have a note about it, which is not even related to the R. Kelly stuff. It was just literally just like okay. I know that April showers brings May flowers, but I hope the temperature would at least get it hotter than R. Kelly. Like just because like the way you said it, I was expecting you to go kind of into that limerick. So like I don't know. Give me what I want. Give me the limerick.
So two jokes I didn't do, so I'm going to just throw them at the end here and just see what you all think, how you like them. And I think I did these with Eleanor last time. You're going to tell by my dialect that I'm, from the hills. But let me dispel any rumors. I can read. I wear shoes, and I don't fuck my sister anymore.
I'd say she's bad at it.
And the last one is there's three things I've learned. One is if somebody says I'm not racist, but some racist shit's about to be said. If someone says, with all due respect, some disrespectful shit's about to be said. And if a woman ever says, "Do you have Snapchat?" you're about to see some titties. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, and you said something about your son having the spelling bee. I was thinking that you were going to say something about him using the spell check on the computer or something. Like what? You use spell check the whole time, or something like that. I just know what you're going to say on that one. I don't know.
Like he was trying to cheat, but he came up with some big long ass words as the other word he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I will confess, I had to look up BBC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm old.
So I'm getting tired too, but usually I'll do a callback and I'll say sometimes, when you think your mom wants a big black cock, she actually just wants a bag of baby carrots, So.
Wait, that's not the one I got.
When you think your mom wants Obama, but she's a Trump voter?
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I was like, what the fuck?
I got a call back.
Okay. Carolyn, go ahead.
I was going to say, okay, so is BBC Bitches Be Crazy, or is it the other one you said? Oh, okay. Now, learn something every day.
Big black something. Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I live in the widest part of the fucking world, like, you know what BBC? I don't know what that means. Yeah.
I had a call back from you, from Carolyn said that, kids stop believing in Santa Claus after 10 years old or whatever. So because if they keep believing that shit after a certain age, they're just going to become the QAnon people.
Right. That's pretty good, yeah. They're going to save you a hell of a lot of money on college tuition. So we got Facebook comments. Love the slavery list joke. Although I can't believe Larry the Cable Guy isn't on your list. Maybe your mom just wants to see Monty Python. And
All right.
guys, we will call that a wrap. Does anybody got anything else before we leave?
No, I appreciate everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go around. We can tell where you can find each other and follow each other on social media. If you got something you want to put forward, then this is your time to do it. Carolyn?
Like, I do have a Facebook. I'm sorry. I do have a YouTube channel, however, that doesn't have my comedy. That just has my serious stuff because all my funny stuff I have to keep under wraps because I work for a job where if we do anything political publicly, I won't have a job. But I might send some links in anyway, including the ones to the song I just sang. I also do I do improv with Unscrewed Theater out of Tucson, and hopefully we'll have a show available online for that soon. I think I hear an echo. That's about it.
All right, thanks, Carolyn. Eleanor?
I'm here. Like I said, we're not doing live shows, so you can find me back at the workshop here. I think next week on the 8th. Yes, tune in on the 8th.
So if that's a Tuesday, man, I'll be your host again.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Mina?
You can find me on Facebook as Armina Mina DeWalt. I'm also on Instagram as Mina DA Comic 88. I also am on YouTube. Just put in Armina DeWalt, like the tools. I'm on there as well. You pretty much, if you Google my name, you can find me anywhere. You can probably find where I live, which is kind of sad. But don't Google my name, please. But, all right. That's it.
All right.
I'm sorry. Ray?
All right. I too can be found at just the type of a Google. If you look up Ray Lockdust or Ray Lockdust comedy on any social media, you'll get my face or my words or me painted in different things because I'm also a makeup artist and do body paint. And isn't that fun, kids? But that's not here what we're to promote. I'm also in the web series Make Caring Great Again. That was a fun thing. It is concluded, so you can watch the whole series, but ongoing. I am the host and producer of The Breakout Room, Canada's newest comedy competition. So you can see me Wednesdays on The Breakout Room. Auditions are tomorrow. It'll be fun.
Awesome. So my name is Jason Dameron. I go by JD, but you guys can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, JD Comedy Drinking, I think is my handle on IG. My big thing that I do is the Just Add Bourbon podcast. I think we're in like 15 nations now. We're starting to get a pretty good following. We talk a lot of politics. I got a guy who's a right winger, he's a Trumper, and I'm the left wing guy, and we go back and forth, and we battle it out pretty good sometimes. It's weird because with my accent and where I live, I'm the way liberal guy, So, but I can handle it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good to me. Other than that, guys, that'll be a wrap. I hope everybody had a good time. I had a great time. Oh, what was the last Facebook comment? On Facebook, search the comedy of Jim Music. He's plugging himself on it. I like it. On the so hope everybody had a good time for my first time hosting. I hope to see you all of your faces again, and that'll be a wrap.
Cool.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.